Welcome back to the place where we do not just talk about attraction, we decode it. And if you are new here, you are about to understand something that most men never learn until they have already lost the woman they wanted. You are looking at her thinking she does not like you. You are reading her distance as rejection. You are treating her silence like a closed door. But here is the uncomfortable truth. First impressions are not always final impressions. And a woman can seem indifferent while her mind is still deciding where to place you. That decision is not made by your words alone. It is made by how you feel to her nervous system, how you carry uncertainty, how you handle pressure, how you show intention without hunger. And if you have ever thought, "I do not stand a chance," stop right there. Because that thought is the very thing that makes you act like a man who does not stand a chance. Attraction begins before you speak. It begins in the invisible field between you and her, in the micro signals you do not realize you are broadcasting. Most men try to force interest with effort, more texts, more compliments, more explaining, more trying. But effort without gravity reads like need. And need is loud, even when you try to hide it. You cannot talk a woman into wanting you. You can only become the kind of presence she cannot ignore. That is what we are doing today. Not tricks, not cheap seduction lines, not manipulation. Real shifts that change the way she experiences you. Because once her experience of you changes, her interpretation changes, and that is where the whole game turns. First, the eye contact that changes everything. You have heard eye contact matters, but most men misuse it. They either avoid it like they are guilty, or they stare like they are hunting. Both kill connection. The eye contact that opens a woman is calm, warm, and unhurried. It is the look of a man who is present, not performing. Research on social bonding suggests that steady, friendly eye contact can increase feelings of trust and connection because it signals attention, safety, and emotional engagement. So when you speak to her, slow down, breathe. Let your gaze land softly, not like a test, not like a demand, and not like you are waiting for her approval. Your eyes should say, "I am here, I am grounded, and I do not need anything from you to be okay." That last part is the part that most men cannot fake, and it is the part women feel instantly. Second, your scent and the psychology of memory. Scent is not just smell good. Scent is association. A subtle, clean fragrance can become an anchor in her emotional memory because scent is closely linked to the brain systems involved in emotion and recall. If you have ever smelled something and been transported to a moment you thought you forgot, you already understand the power. Your goal is not to overwhelm her. Your goal is to become familiar in a way that feels safe and intriguing. Pick something that matches your vibe. Grounded woods, crisp citrus, soft musk, something restrained. You want her to catch it when you pass, not taste it from across the room. Third, your nervous system, because the woman does not just respond to your words, she responds to your state. If you walk up to her with anxiety, your body leaks it through speed, tone, posture, and micro movements. If you walk up to her with calm, your body communicates steadiness before you say a sentence. This is why the real work is not what to say. The real work is who you are while you say it. If you struggle with anxiety, do not shame yourself. Train your calm. Build routines that make you feel stable. Sleep, movement, breath work, sunlight, and less screen chaos. If you choose to use supplements like L-theanine, ashwagandha, or magnesium, be responsible and speak with a qualified professional first, especially if you have medical conditions or take medications, because your health is more important than any date. The point is simple. When you regulate your body, you show up as your real self, and your real self is what can create connection. Fourth, a quick pre-date reset that most men never use. Call someone who reminds you who you are. Before you meet her, talk to a friend, a sibling, someone who makes you feel valued and grounded. Not to pump your ego, but to remind your nervous system that you are not walking into a room to beg for worth. You are walking in as a man who is already complete. That internal baseline changes the way you move, the way you smile, the way you pause, the way you handle silence. Fifth, stop taking her on predictable dates that trap you into interview energy. Dinner across a table can be fine, but if she already sees you as not that guy, predictable settings keep you in the same box. If you want her to experience you differently, create an emotional experience, not a conversation trap. Something playful, something curious, something that makes you both interact with the environment. An art exhibit with weird pieces you can react to, a low-stakes activity like mini-golf or an escape room, a walk somewhere with a view, a fun class, a market, anything that creates movement and shared moments. Psychologists have discussed how people can misattribute excitement from a situation to the person they are with. So a mildly thrilling or novel experience can amplify chemistry, but do not chase adrenaline like it is magic. The real goal is to make her feel alive, present, and safe in that aliveness with you. Sixth, show social confidence in the smallest ways. How you treat the waiter, how you handle a minor inconvenience, how you speak to strangers, how you respond when something goes slightly wrong, all of it tells her whether you are stable. And women watch stability. They watch whether you get rattled. They watch whether you need to control everything. Calm competence is seductive because it signals a life that can handle pressure without drama. Seventh, handle the bill like a man who does not need applause. If you are going to pay, do it quietly and without performance. No speeches, no, look at me. Just calm action. Initiative without validation seeking communicates maturity. Eighth, do not rush physical escalation like you are racing the clock. This is where men sabotage everything. They think the kiss is proof. They think the kiss is the win. But restraint is often more powerful than pressure. If the date is good, you can end with warmth and leave a little space. A sincere moment. A hug that is present. A calm goodbye that says, "I enjoyed you, and I am not desperate to consume the moment." That leaves her with a question. And questions are the seeds of obsession, not because you are playing games, but because you are not trying to force certainty. Ninth, the part nobody wants to hear. You cannot attract her long-term if you are not building yourself. Women are drawn to men who are evolving, not perfect men, not loud men, men with direction, men with purpose, men whose self-worth does not rise and fall based on a text message. This is where stoicism, the real kind, matters. Not the robotic kind, the kind where you master your reactions, the kind where you do not spiral, the kind where rejection does not turn you bitter, the kind where your peace is not on loan from other people. When she senses that you do not need her to be whole, she feels safe choosing you, because she is not being recruited into your emptiness. She is being invited into your life. 10th, build psychological tension the correct way. Presence plus restraint. Most men think tension means flirting harder. Wrong. Tension is created when you are warm without chasing, interested without pleading, attentive without orbiting. It is the dance between closeness and freedom. It is the feeling that you could lean in, but you are not compelled to. It is the calm that says you have standards. You can be silent without anxiety. You can listen without rushing to impress. When you speak, speak slowly. Use pauses. Let your words breathe. Do not drown the moment with noise. The man who fills every silence is announcing fear. The man who is comfortable in silence is broadcasting strength. 11th, stop trying to impress her and start making her feel emotionally safe. This is the hidden reason she did not like you at first. It is not always that you are unattractive. Often it is that your energy felt unpredictable, needy, or unclear. Emotional safety is created through consistency, respect, and presence. It is how you handle disagreement. It is how you respond when she is not immediately enthusiastic. It is how you treat her boundaries. It is how you hold your own boundaries without aggression. It is how you show interest without trying to conquer. Because here is the truth. Many women have learned to be cautious. They have learned that attention can be cheap and that charm can be empty. What disarms her is not louder effort. It is quiet integrity. It is you being the same man in private and public. It is you being stable when the vibe is uncertain. It is you being kind without becoming a servant. It is you being confident without becoming arrogant. Now let us pull all of this together, because you might be thinking, okay, but what if she truly does not like me? Listen carefully. There is a difference between a woman who is undecided and a woman who is uninterested. If she is consistently cold, consistently unavailable, consistently disengaged, and never reciprocates, you do not win her with tactics. You walk away with dignity. But if she is cautious, if she is neutral, if she is slow, if she is observing, that is not always a no. That can be a test, a screening, a wait and see. And this is where most men fail because they interpret slow as rejection, and then they either chase harder or they quit bitterly. The man who changes the outcome is the one who stays grounded and lets her experience him without pressure. He does not try to convince her. He creates conditions where attraction can grow naturally. He becomes memorable not through loud performance, but through emotional gravity. He lets her wonder. Why does he not seem needy? Why does he not seem bitter? Why does he feel calm? Why does his presence feel safe? Why do I keep thinking about him after I said I did not care? That is the shift. You do not force her to like you. You become the kind of man who is hard to dismiss. And if she still does not choose you, you lose nothing because you were becoming that man for yourself anyway. That is the final truth. Do not do this to get her. Do this to become the version of you that does not chase crumbs. The version that radiates purpose. The version that can handle uncertainty. The version that can be warm without being weak. The version that knows when to step forward and when to walk away. So the next time you see her and she seems indifferent, do not shrink. Do not perform. Do not overtalk. Smile with your eyes. Slow down. Let your body say, I am good either way. And then watch what happens, because the moment you stop needing her to like you is often the moment she starts seeing you differently. If this resonated, hit like, subscribe, and comment the one section you needed the most today. And if you want, tell me what situation you are in right now. Is she cold? Is she cautious? Or is she consistently unavailable? Because those are 3 different realities, and your next move depends on which one you are actually facing.